Welcome back, everybody, to Grand Tactician, a Civil War. I'm Grumpy Grandpa Gaming, and this is episode 15 of our federal Spring of 62 campaign in version 1.11 using the A.O.M mod. So, I do believe I'm going to try and make this the final episode of this campaign. As we've seen from the last few episodes, the morale of the Confederate armies is completely trashed out. They're really not putting up much of a fight anymore. And we do have their national morale down at 58, and I'm in a position to tank that completely here within a few days, to be honest with you. So my plan for right now is still holding steady here. I'm going to push First Corps all the way down to Charlotte because they're full green, ready to go, and they do have supplies. I'm going to push Third Corps into Parsons Corps. And we're probably going to turn the Battle of Fort Norfolk into an assault. And we're going to send... I was going to wait for 11th to arrive in New Orleans, but I'm going to start pushing some of the Army of Mississippi into other cities now. I'm going to move 10th Corps out of Vicksburg and push them into Jackson. They'll be able to seize that supply depot there too, which will help them out. And we're going to push 9th over to Corinth. And 12th is still transiting, but I think we are going to shift that transit point now and push them down towards Nashville. So I can use the rail lines to get over to here. So we're going with a full-on offense. I've already given orders for the 5th Corps to actually move down into Knoxville itself with the Army Tennessee headquarters. So we're doing a full-on drive here. We can tank out the Confederates at any point that we want to. So I do believe we're going to open it up here with the battle at Fort Norfolk. So they have 75,000 on the field of infantry, 3,400 cavalry, 237 guns to my 46,000 infantry, 3,200 cavalry, and 181 guns. Some of these brigades are starting to break already. Their morale is low, so it's best to take them on now than later. Yeah, with all the participants, we're going to have over 100,000 men on the field for this fight. So I wanted to do this fight because 2nd Corps hasn't no broken units yet, but 4th Corps is starting to take on some broken brigades. It's only the one division so far, but that'll climb as this siege goes on. So I'm going to take this one first. So I'll see you all on the other side of the load screen. Welcome everybody to the Battle of Fort Norfolk. So all the players are on the field. All of our corps are on the field. All the rebels are on the field. So there's a lot of men on the field right now. We got 52,114 on the field. The rebels have 76,000 on the field. So we're looking at close to 113,000 men on this battlefield right now. It's probably the biggest. I think it's probably the biggest battle I've ever actually fought in this game. And that's with only 2 of my corps on the field. So you can see we are defending. So I've already set up in a defensive line here, covering this. I do have my 2nd Corps basically maintaining the main line with 4th all on the flanks in reserve, as their brigades are, none of their brigades are stable, so I can't have them in the main part of the battle line for right now. The rebels only have the one entry point, which is over here on the Danville Road, so I'm expecting them to come into Danville itself and cross here to get at us. But they may come down this way, so I do have both cavalry brigades and one engineer brigade overwatching this ford down here below us. So they'll be more than able to handle whatever comes across until I can get some more forces down to them. So that's my setup for right now. We're just going to wait for them to show up. So I'll be back. So it's 1300. We do have our first sighting on rebels, and that's a broken cavalry brigade riding right through my lines. And we do have dust trails back here. Oh, there we go. Behind a goat, Villapoo. More dust trails over here. So they're actually coming at us from multiple directions. Most of the forces seem to have been crossing from back here by the unfinished railroad bridge. Yeah, I think Clayton's out for the fight. And you can see I do have a nice big fence being built right now, though it's nowhere near completion. Though we did get a good chunk of it done. I didn't hear these guys fire. Alright, now I hear some guns. Okay. It seems a little low to me. I don't know. Should be Fahabala getting first blood here if they keep marching down the road the way they are. You get the McGrangus Legion to their right and the Texas Loyalists to their left. Oh, and if anybody's wondering what today's battle brew is, it is... Actually, I haven't even picked yet. Balvenie 14 Caribbean cask. I was looking for... I did buy a new bottle of Johnny Walker Black, and I couldn't find it. That's really what I was in the mood for. I probably left it out in my truck. Don't know. Hopefully this is battle won't be a waste of scotch, but I think it just might be. My round's at 35, theirs is at 36. And they're marching straight down the road. None of my artillery have any siding. That's not good. Oh, their siding's horrible. It looked better when I placed them. All these batteries firing be ripping these brigades apart right now. Speed this up just a little bit. Slightly better facing there. They should be getting orders to move in a battle line, but I think it's going to take... Depends how far back their commanders are. It'll take them a while to get any orders. If Bali, you can open fire. What the hell are you boys doing? Saw this last episode too, where they weren't firing immediately, which is a little weird. Should have been firing before they were. There they go. That was a dispatch rider, so they're just getting their orders. Some more troops coming down the road here at the double quick. Polk's brigade, Yugi's artillery. He's probably out for some revenge since we killed his father. Anybody approaching down this way? Oh, what do we got there? Oh, broken cavalry brigade. Alright. Doesn't look like anybody's coming down from this direction, but I'll leave these forces here just in case. Wow, you got us ranged. With 200 men, they probably got like captured Sharps rifles or something like that. Oh, that was a brigade with 200 men. How many are in this one? $650. Oof, these are all under strength brigades coming at us. That can't be right. No weapon's got that range. No weapon has that. I don't care if they're elevated or not. Nobody has that. Got the Talos battery, Withers battery, Sheffield's brigade. Hulk we already seen. Hebert's brigade. I think we wounded him earlier in the war. Looks like they're actually going to set up for a proper attack. That'll be good. These batteries are firing at least. They can fire at these guys, can't fire what's in front of them. Looks like we're going to have a little bit of a lull here, so I'll be back. Alright, it's 14:10, and looks like Hebert's brigade is continuing to push forward and not getting into a battle line with the rest of these troops. I've actually started pulling back my 2 artillery divisions a little further back to see if we can't get a better sighting over our front line. Don't know if it'll work or not, but we'll try. They're pulling back now. But they're going to keep pushing in. They really need to wait for the rest of their forces to come up. Got plenty of dust trails back here. It looks like we're going to be entering another lull here, so I'll be back. Alright, 1700. It looks like they might finally be pushing forward some type of attack here. It's been a few hours with a big artillery duel going on. Taking out quite a few of their artillery pieces from the look. This area right here, a lot of the models have been disappearing over the course of the game, but this area is basically a charnel house of dead bodies, dead horses, and broken artillery pieces. As they have a lot of troops massed up here. You can't see them all right now because a bunch of them are laying down, but they've just been getting hammered by artillery over here for the last few hours. I think we have their casualties up over 2,000 at this point. Yep. 2,400 to our 968. So they're not pushing forward their attack yet, which I'm a little surprised about, but they do have, looks like they're waiting for the rest of these troops to come down the road here, and these dust trails go all the way back. And I don't even think all the Corps pressing forward over here either, but I haven't bothered identifying everybody. Look at that, they're all starting to break now. They had them sitting there too long taking artillery fire. And that little attack they sent forward's finished. So I wonder if I should actually push my men in and just finish this off. But the brigades over here seem to be, nope, now they're getting ready to break. They were solid on their flags a few minutes ago. Now they're getting ready to break again, too. This horse artillery's retreating right into us. 5 men, they're gone. Just wiped out Choose artillery. Got to keep physically resighting some of these guns once in a while. Alright, looks like we're going to have ourselves another lull here. The brigades they just sent forward just all broke, so I'll be back. Alright, it's now 1800. It looks like they are finally tired of the artillery abuse I've been sending at them. I mean, just look at this pale of smoke over here. We've just been hammering away at this location. It's actually one of the few instances I'm actually using bombardment orders from these batteries over here to lay into this area. Looks like we finally have an attack coming through. Alright, Loyalists, start firing. Whenever you please. You're in your arc. There we go. It looks like the day is going to be ending here fairly soon. Bala's getting some. Now, if you want bombardment orders, just take those off. Start using some canister. Look like much an attack, just one division coming forward. Everybody's still massed up over here. The Ozark Mountain here should be getting some good kills in with their canister if they get those orders taken off fast enough. A bunch of my artillery shifted fire. You guys aren't even firing. Let's take that off. Now you're seeing this much smoke hanging around. Oh, oil service, 500 casualties. They've been getting hammered by the artillery, and I didn't even notice. Reserve brigade down. I don't know why Grant's not on the field, because he was on top of these two corps on the siege. I don't know what's going on there, but oof. I think we'll be able to plant a new cemetery right here. I don't have to take them too far. There's going to be a lot of bodies over there. Frame rate's getting a little jumpy. Looks like they got a lot of orders going out. Yeah, they're pushing even more brigades forward. Oh, there go the loyalists. Angus turning face. Boys move at the double. Should have brought this whole division over here earlier. Just left a nice little hole in my line. Bala turning face. Wait for Hancock to get his boys up. We'll be fine. Yep, you got your first perk. Bala's at almost 500 casualties now themselves. Oof. Then a lot of their casualties happened over here. That's why I haven't switched places with the loyalists. Not enough of an attack to break my line. So all the brigades they sent forward. I can't even give them advance orders yet. falling back. Division commander's too far away. And there they go. Some mortars to move up. They still got troops coming down the road at us, so look at all that. I think they just road jammed themselves. That's why they're having such a hard time getting here. They got too many troops coming down the one road. Are they starting to withdraw? They're pulling back. Not everybody. Where'd these batteries come from? Which I haven't checked the crossing over here in a while. Nope, absolutely nothing coming that way. Everything's on this one road. Irish Brigade push forward, see off those batteries. These guys are pushing forward into us, so that don't matter. Regular brigade start pushing up also. 20th Maine. We're not going to finish this before the day's off, but I want to push these batteries away at least. This battle's just been one big artillery duel so far. Get on the breastworks. The Army commander's sitting right there. Who's in charge of it right now? Still Johnston. Well, these brigades getting ready to break. The artillery can finish breaking these guys. We're done. This battle's over. Probably do an overnight withdrawal. There we go, Irish Brigade. Take down that battery. Keep pushing forward. Legion, go take down this brigade. And this Jayhawkers come on this way. Hessian Hellfighters, let's go. It's 1900, we only got about an hour of daylight left. Maybe two. It's mid-August. If the rebels hadn't massed up their troops right here and waited to the next day to attack, this would be a much better battle, but they just left them here inside of artillery range, which was not a good idea. There's a brigade with good morale coming forward. Oh, what is it now that I'm trying to push out of my works? They want to come forward. Right up Bala, so they should be able to handle them easily. Irish Brigade go support. Yeah, things are getting real choppy now. We have a lot of orders going out. Oh yeah, they're running away. Still stuck down there. Ugh. Yeah, it looks like they were drawn. Just gotta finish it off now. Like I said, I'm going to cover the post-battle stuff now, so I basically already said it. They were massing up. They were waiting for all their troops to come forward, but they massed them all right here and here, and this just allowed me to basically lay waste with my artillery. All these casualties you see back here is all caused by my artillery. Look at all these abandoned guns. Holy crap. And I think they had about 200 guns on the field, and it looks like we got a good chunk of them. Look at all those abandoned artillery pieces. So yeah, I mean, the AI did the right thing in trying to mass up, but not in that location. But as always, let me know what you thought in the comments below while we wait for this to finish playing out. Just got to make sure they retreat and not try to reform for a second day. The regulars seem to be keeping up a little bit. Should put them at mid-range because they're a ranged shock unit, but double time, boys. Keep up with them. Distracted by retreating units again. Alright, where is that retreat order? Just speed this along. There it is. Just speed this along now. That took a lot longer than I thought it would, to be honest with you. That took a lot longer than I thought it would. Just watching this artillery duel, this was about I was letting it go at 1 by speed. This was about 2 hours long for me right here. So we lost 1,400, call 1,500 of our 46,232 infantry, 0 of our cavalry, 4 of our 107. For all that artillery fire, we only lost 4 guns. Total loss of 1,549 of our 52,114. We took down 3,700 of their 72,000 infantry, 350 of their 3,300 cavalry. We got 200 of their 250 guns. I thought they only had 200 guns on the field. They had 250, but we got 200 of them. Holy crap. Total loss of 4,600 of their 80,000 men. Now, this would have been a much bloodier battle if the AI had kept its troops further back out of my artillery range. And I would have let them sit there just to make it a better battle, but they decided not to, and I wasn't going to draw back any further than I was. So that would have been a little too turtled up. Alright, let's go through this paperwork real fast. Wrong tab. Alright, 4th Corps engineers didn't fight, Cav did not fight, 1st Division, just the artillery fought, and 1st Division artillery did 147 infantry, 1 to Cav, 55 artillery patrol, 205. 3rd Division, once again just their artillery. These are all the batteries I had up on the flank. 3rd Division artillery did 96 to infantry, 23 artillery patrol, 122. 2nd Division, 1st Brigade, which is Hancock's brigade, which came up to replace the Texans, did 222 to infantry. 2nd Division artillery did 184 to infantry, 27 to cavalry, 77 artillery patrol, 290, division total of 512. Artillery Division, 8th Ohio Battery did 37 infantry, 4 to cav, 4 to artillery patrol, 49. 4th Division artillery did 27 infantry, 14 artillery patrol, 42. 3rd Division artillery did 38 to infantry, 7 to cav, 23 to artillery patrol, 69. In Illinois, light artillery did 82 to infantry, 3 to cav, 9 to artillery patrol, 94, division total 254. 2nd Corps did the vast majority of everything. Massachusetts engineers got 6 casualties. I think that was the battery or the cavalry that retreated into them. That's what those 6 are. Reserve Division, 1st Brigade didn't fight. Regular Brigade did 37 to infantry, 81 artillery patrol of 118. 2nd Division, McGrangus Legion did 425 to infantry. Hessian Hellfighters, right at the end there, did 10 to infantry, 23 to artillery patrol, 33. Kansas Jayhawkers didn't get anything in there. Flemish Lions did 22 to infantry, 2 to cavalry, total of 24, division total of 482. 1st Division, Irish Brigade did 71 to artillery. Fahabala did 988 to infantry, 121 to cavalry, 1 artillery patrol, 1,110. Texas Loyalists did 550 to infantry, 103 to cavalry, 5 to artillery, captured 5, total of 663. The Ozark Mountain Daredevils did 390 to infantry, 35 to cavalry, 175 to artillery. Damn, they really laid into their artillery. I didn't even have them on counter battery. Total of 614, division total 2,458. 4th Division Artillery. We got 2 2nd Division Artilleries in here, okay. 1 battery did nothing. Batteries on the edges, I really couldn't get them to fire too much. This battery did 19 artillery. 1st Division Artillery did 62 to infantry, 8 to cavalry, 22 to artillery patrol, 95. 1st Connecticut Battery did 80 to infantry, 10 to cavalry, 37 to artillery patrol, 135. 2nd Connecticut Battery did 226 to infantry, 19 to cav. Took 10 prisoners. Must have retreated all the way back through my to my artillery division. I didn't even notice. 152 to artillery patrol, 414, division total 663. Like I said, this should have been a much bloodier battle if the AI had kept their troops out of my range and waited for a day to attack. This would have been a much, much bloodier fight. No, let's see if we got any of their officers. Oh, Johnston's wounded. All separate brigades except for here. Nope. Department of Norfolk came away unscathed, so Johnston's wounded. Sibley's wounded. Those are all separate brigades, yep. Left wing. Not too much in the officer casualty area, it's looking like. Damn, that's a big division. That's probably a bunch of understrength brigades, though. Same here. Historically, that was the way the rebels did things. They went with wings and very large divisions. Historically, a Union corps against one corps, a corps on corps, the rebels would outnumber the Federals. Even though the Federal Army was larger, if it was just a straight corps on corps fight, the rebels would have the numbers advantage. Major Gracie. Not too much in the taking down their officers area, but taking down Johnston's a big grab. Get closed out of here. So, like I said, I already said what I had to say about this fight. Once again, just let me know what you thought in the comments below, and I will see you all at the newspaper screen. Victory at Fort Norfolk. So the Army of Northern Virginia, the Fort Norfolk garrison, and the Department of Norfolk are retreating in panic. The enemies reportedly suffered total casualties of 4,647 men. There are 1,127 killed, 1,388 captured. Our casualties total 1,549 men, with 316 killed, 197 missing, and the rest wounded. We sent 1,443 soldiers off to our prison camps. And I'm not even going to count the weapons anymore, as we're not even using whatever we capture from them. And it looks like French has lost face. I'll let this one roll off, and our next combat should be right down here with the 3rd Corps and the 14th Corps mounted, going up against Parson and the Army of North Carolina. They have 15,000 men. They're still waiting for their move orders. So did that give us the fort, or are we still sieging it? We're still sieging it. That should have given us the fort, but it did not. Because their garrison, before the battle, this garrison was broken. And it still shows that it's broken. Okay. So that siege shouldn't last much longer. At least now the Army of Northern Virginia will no longer be in Virginia. Alright, so we haven't actually moved the map anything since the intro to the video, so while everything's making their moves, I will be back. Alright, it's now September 13th, and we do have our next combat here. I thought I gave orders to 3rd Corps to move forward. Apparently I gave them to 14th instead. But 14th Corps is now in contact, though Heinzman, being senior commander, is in charge. With the Parsons Corps of the Army of North Carolina under the command of Samuel Maxey. So we're bringing 27,352 infantry, 15,540 cavalry, and 110 guns to there, 14,129 infantry, 35 guns. So 3rd Corps is 7 hours away, but I should be able to handle this with just the cavalry corps. Those 2 divisions of cavalry are all now, they don't all have Sharps carbines, but they all have decent cavalry weapons at this point. So I'll see you all on the other side of the load screen. Welcome to the Battle of Weldon. So we're on the Bentonville map, and I've already got my 2 cavalry divisions set up here in a defensive, something of a defensive arrangement. There's really no good terrain here for the cavalry to fight on, or get my batteries good siding. So the rebels are coming in from the south from this entry point only, as far as I could tell. So they should be using this road right here to come up towards us. They got to split here, and they need to come up. These 2 tracks here come around on this track. So I do have a majority. I expect them to basically converge on this road, but I can use this one. So I do have the majority of my forces here. So once again, this is just going to be another waiting game until they show up. But their morale's basically on par with us this time, so it should be a little bit more of an interesting fight. So I'll be back once the rebels show themselves. Well, it's 10:18 in the morning. We have sighting on the first of their brigades. We start sighting them back here. They disappear in this low ground. They pop back up again. So we have 4th Brigade in the vanguard here coming down the road. Basically coming in right where I expected them to. Let's move this along a bit. marching right at the 3-inchers. They don't have good canister fire, but they do have the Wolverines and the 1st Maryland Cavalry Raiders on either side of them, so they should be fine. Yep, they're stopping to wait. AI commanders are starting to improve, but too little too late at this point in the war. Nope, here they come. They're not stopping to wait. And now they're getting ready to break because they're marching forward, getting flanked out by the Wolverines. Okay, Maryland, you can open fire any moment. What do I have feeling? My cavalry, the battery's going to take more casualties than they should because of this crap. Because the defensive units should be firing before the attacking units are. Speed this up again. Yeah, if they're coming up one brigade at a time, we're just going to break them very easily. Yep, one brigade at a time. And they're getting ready to break already. And it'll be Reynolds brigades after these boys. Alright, in with the canister. Sitting out of range of my cavalry this time. Okay. They're falling back anyway. These guys probably have rifled muskets, and the other brigade had smooth bores. Yep, they're broken. Speed this along until the next brigade shows up. Next contestants, please step up. Allentown, why are you getting ready to break? Morris is wounded. How'd he get wounded? They're going to sit out of range again. Okay. Maryland, take care of that. What the hell are these guys armed with? They got Whitworths? So I know they haven't captured any Sharps from me. I only got 2 brigades armed with those. We actually haven't seen them fight in the walks. They're both in 1st Corps. Start pushing forward, Wolverines. We're just going to end this now. I'm not waiting for these haphazard attacks to come in on us. starting to break them. Push in. Wolverines, why are you moving so slow? I know you're used to riding, but damn, you gotta be able to walk a little bit. You guys get mounted. Range on these guys. Ugh. I gotta have Whitworths. And Heitzman's still starting to arrive, but it doesn't matter. We don't need them at this point. My cavalry's moving like molasses. That brigade broke. American McBride. Pushing closer. Get some shots in there. Don't be afraid. Mitchell's been killed in action. Why am I losing so many officers? That's one wounded officer, one dead officer. And there they go. Speed this along. Right. wounded officer and dead officer. We didn't take too many casualties. So we took down 750 of their 15,000 infantry, 20 of their 35 guns, total 950 of their 16,000 men. We lost 206 of our 15,538 cavalry, 8 of our 100, I guess one of our batteries. Yeah, the battery with the wounded commander probably broken. I wasn't looking back there. Total loss of 218 of our 44,490 men. Alright, quick look at the paperwork here. Alright, 1st Maryland Cavalry Raiders did 111 infantry, 48 artillery for a total of 159. 1st Pennsylvania Cavalry Raiders did 49 infantry. 4th Pennsylvania Steel City did 16 infantry. Sin City Raiders did 64 to infantry, 25 to artillery for a total of 89. Kirk's Deserters did 26 to infantry, 19 artillery for a total of 45. And the Wolverines did 213 to infantry, 107 artillery for a total of 320. Division total of 454. And the Allentown Flying Battery did 134 to infantry, 6 to artillery for a total of 140, and the Connecticut Horse Artillery did 101 to infantry, division total of 241. Let's see if we got any of their officers. No, I'm highly doubtful. Oh, we wounded A.W. Reynolds, and we wounded Major Whitfield from Missouri Batteries. So we lost 1 dead, 1 wounded. They lost 2 wounded. So, like I said, not much to say about this fight. I just didn't want to wait for them to come in with those piecemeal attacks. I feel like I would have taken more casualties if I'd done that. Alright, so we'll get closed out of here, and I'll see you all at the newspaper screen. Alright, victory at Weldon. The Army of North Carolina is retreating. They reportedly suffered total casualties of 940 men. There are 217 killed and 249 captured. Our casualties totaled 218 men with 37 killed and 21 missing. So our casualties are basically even. Our total casualties match their number killed. So, send 243 soldiers up to prison camps. Major Whitfield loses face. That's a battery commander, so I really don't care. Alright, like as I said, we're going to keep this episode trundling along as most of these corps haven't even received their movement orders yet. 9th was barely moved out of Memphis. 10th hasn't even begun moving yet. And 11th is still on its way down the river. Doesn't even look like 12th's got their movement orders yet. And 5th is on the move. It'll be a while before they're in Knoxville. I have a feeling capturing a few more cities will put this campaign to a close. So, I'll be back. Alright, it's now September 20th, and we have another combat coming on. Though I did just fight another one. I didn't record it, and because I thought it was going to be a pretty short affair, and it ended up being one of the best fights we've had in a few episodes. I'm really upset I did not record it. We did fight a battle here at Cumberland Gap as 5th Corps moved into Knoxville. The Army of Tennessee moved north of Knoxville up towards Cumberland Gap, I guess to get out of our way, which trapped them in the mountains here, so we did engage them. And I actually came pretty close to losing it, even though I had both corps on the field. And we had them 2-1 in numbers. My morale was pretty bad, and we had the Cumberland Gap map, which anybody who plays this game, that map is all mountains, and I had to attack, so my forces were tired and disrupted going into the attack, and it was just a pretty bloody affair. It was almost even on casualties, around $2 grand each. But on top of that, we now control Corinth, Mississippi. I have 9th Corps moving on to engage 2nd Corps of the Army of Mississippi, but they only have 900 men, so I expect them to move away immediately. 10th Corps is on its way into Grenada. And we have taken New Orleans, and 11th Corps is just now awaiting orders to move into Baton Rouge. Once we control Baton Rouge, we will have control of the Mississippi River and have split the Confederacy in half, which will drag their morale down by a good 10 points, I believe. And on top of that, 14th Corps mounted is flipping Rolla. 3rd Corps is on its way to Wilmington. And 1st Corps has been on the move. McDowell's been moving his men. We moved from Lynchburg all the way into Charlotte and now moving on Columbia. In less than 20-day time period, he has been moving his troops and moving them fast. He's been fairly good to me this campaign. I just wish we can get him some more action. I thought there'd be more Corps down. I thought they would have started shifting the Corps down here up this direction, but I haven't seen them yet. But that's neither here nor there, as we have this engagement coming on. So the Army of Northern Virginia and the left wing have only retreated as far south as Winton, which is the next available IP for them to retreat to. Once we have Rolla, they have to come all the way south to Wilmington. So I was really hoping to have this flipped. I thought these Corps would retreat away once we engaged them, but they did not. So it's a 2nd Corps under Sumner with 23,104 infantry, 1,600 cavalry, and 100 guns going up against the Army of Northern Virginia and its left wing under command of Longstreet, because Johnston was wounded, so Longstreet now has command. They have 20,753 infantry, 584 cavalry, and 31 guns. So we have an advantage, but not much of one. So I'm hoping their morale is still pretty low and we can knock this out fairly quickly. So I'll see you on the other side of load screen. Welcome to the Battle of Winton. So once again, we are on the defense. I was actually hoping to have another attack scenario here, but I did move my troops as far forward as I could to try and speed things along a little bit here. Rebels are coming in from the south here. This is the Centerville map. So rebels are coming in from this road right here, so I'm setting up my defenses right here with the 3rd Division in the center, 1st to their right, and 2nd will be on their left, with the Artillery Division back over this way once I have more of the map to maneuver on. So one thing, we're just going to set up and wait for them to show up and then rip them down as quickly as possible. So a little bit of a surprise here. They're actually coming down the railroad cut and not the main road. Just setting up all my artillery and everything back here to discover this was going on. So now I gotta do some shifting. Move it to double time. Not happy about this. I was hoping to change up who was actually fighting, but not this time. And I can just order my troops to wrap around, which is exactly what I'm going to do. Nobody's coming down this way, it appears, but I'll put that division there anyway, just in case. You have your orders. Everybody should be moving here fairly soon. And coming out of defeat from Norfolk, their morale's still not too high. It'll be a few minutes still, so I'll be back. Our first shots are now being fired down here in the hollow. As soon as 3rd Division's in place, I'm going to start pushing them down into these troops here, but I was completely wrong. They did have troops coming down the road over here, and I just did not see the dust trails. So Jayhawkers, you guys go engage them. Artillery stay in place. Looks like it might only be the 1 division, though. They're shooting the Hellfighters in the flank. Go turn on them. Yeah, not waiting for you guys to get in position, start moving in. I'm not going to let this engagement last too long. Yep, there it goes, starting to break. Loyalists push forward. Bahbala push forward. SNL fires up the perk now. There we go. Push in, don't let them get out of rifle range. Keep them pendant on the road. Well, 20th Maine moving, get into the fight. Get some shots in before we break these boys. Hold your horses, Jayhawkers. Stay on who's right in front of you. Turn this brigade around. Good. Quickly turning this in our favor. Okay, I guess it was the smallest core down along the railroad cut, the biggest one coming up this road. Fresh targets for you right there. Go get them. Next brigade start coming out this way. Breaking one more brigade should see this one finished. And I think if we break Beale, that'll be it. John Rains. 20th Maine's gonna have a hard time coming up out of low ground. Double. There's Evans. And that's all she wrote. Just got away from the retreat now. They're starting to withdraw their forces. There we go. So let's just speed this along. Ooh, hit somebody's command staff there. Alright. Quick, dirty, simple. Took down 1,500 or 20,000 infantry, 20 of their 550 cavalry, 10 of their 30 guns. Total loss of 1,700 or 21,000 men. We lost 396 infantry. So that's a very fair return for us. Let's take a quick look at the paperwork. Cav didn't fight, engineers didn't fight, infantry reserve. McGrangus Legion did 192 to infantry, 5 to cavalry, 3 to artillery for a total of 200. Hessian Hellfighters did 351 to infantry, 12 to artillery, total 363. Kansas Jayhawkers did 259 to infantry, 52 to cavalry, 4 to artillery, total 315. And the Flemish Lines did 17 to infantry, division total of 895. 2nd Division, Irish Brigade did not fight. Fahabala did 255 to infantry. Texas Loyalists did 17 to infantry, 77 to artillery, for a total of 94. Ozark Mountain Daredevils did 107 to infantry, 11 to cavalry, 4 to artillery, for a total of 122. Division total of 471. 1st Division, that's who I was just looking at. Okay, that's everybody. Artillery Division did nothing. Alright, so we got any of their officers. We got Stewart, Brigadier General Lawton, alright, Stewart's a good grab. I'll take that. Alright. Don't have much to say about this one. As we've been talking about, it's just kind of waiting for everything to fall apart for us now. So I'll see you all at the newspaper screen. Alright, victory at Winton. The Army of Northern Virginia and its left wing retreating in panic. The enemies reportedly suffered total casualties of 1,718 men. There were 273 killed and 590 captured. Our casualties total 433 men, 107 killed, 49 missing, and the rest wounded. We've sent 604 soldiers off to our prison camps. Nobody got the famed in that one. I'm a little surprised. Like as I said, we're going to keep this rolling along. As I just did the map update. We all probably should have done it after the battle, because I did have that big thing going on over here. But, we are just gobbling everything up right now. So, like I said, we're going to keep this rolling along, because it could really... I think once I take Baton Rouge, it should really drop their morale down. Plus, we have all of Virginia. We've basically taken everything in North Carolina except for Wilmington, which we're on our way to right now. And we're moving on to state capital of Columbia in South Carolina. I'll probably be able to move on Charleston fairly quickly after that, and then we'll be moving into Georgia. There'll be nothing left, really, outside of the deep south states. Honestly, I could probably start pushing... we still do have the siege of Fort Clinch going on. That's in our favor. As soon as that siege is over, I'll start pushing the Army to Suwanee north to meet up with the Army to Potomac at some point. Alright, so I'll be back. Alright, it's now October 1st, so I figure it's time to bring you all in for an update. We're not doing monthly as we usually would, as we're pushing things along quite nicely. Our armies are basically all over the place at this point. I have fought a few more skirmishes, I think 5 or 6, but the morale of the Confederate armies is just, they're just enough to make a stand, collect some casualties, and then get pushed off. Really nothing to talk about. So we have captured the entirety of the Mississippi River. So the Confederacy is split in two. Though to bring their morale down more than it has, it's now sitting at 44. I thought it would have been lower, especially with all the cities we now control. So we control everything from Cairo down to New Orleans. We are about to lose control of Jackson, as they did slip Van Dorn's Corps into there, but I do have 10th Corps on its way to handle that. And it looks like another Ruggles Corps is on its way to New Orleans, which is part of the Army of Transmiss. So 11th Corps, which just took Baton Rouge, is on its way back there to protect the city. Once we see off Ruggles Corps, I'll be sending them over to Mobile. We're still bottled up in Florida. I really wanted these 2 corps on the move and up in Georgia at this point, or even over here in Alabama, but we're just still bottled up here as these corps keep coming down to re-siege Fort Clinch. Up here in the Carolinas, because we're no longer talking about Virginia now, we fought a series of, like I said, about 5 or 6 skirmishes, a series of running battles from Winton down here to New Bern. Plus another skirmish up here by Cumberland Gap that was pretty quickly won. I'm surprised we actually didn't disintegrate those corps. We also did just fight another one here at Hopkinsville with 12th Corps, pushing away Lovell's command. And we're about to let them rest up over here at Bowling Green. Get them back up to the green before I push them down into Nashville. And take on the 1st Corps of the Army of Mississippi. Our Army of Mississippi Command is down here along with its 2nd Corps. I got 9th Corps resting just south of them and Decatur in Alabama. Once they're ready to go again, we'll be sending them back up there to retake on that army. And 5th and 7th Corps Army of the Tennessee are moving down the Appalachian Valley. 5th Corps is right now on its way towards Chattanooga, though it looks like the Army of Pensacola, of all things, has shown up in the area. Sent the Florida Army up there to take us on. And 7th Corps is resting in Knoxville. His readiness is still fairly low from his that almost failed attack at First Battle of Cumberland Gap. So things are just moving along as it is. So I don't think the full morale effects have taken hold yet, because we hold most of their territory at this point. All the major cities in Virginia, North Carolina. We actually hold most of South Carolina too, actually. Taking Columbia. Nope, we only hold Columbia right now. 1st Corps just took Augusta, and I now have them on their way to Savannah. I was going to send them to Atlanta, but I figured 5th Corps could take it once they hold Chattanooga. And 3rd Corps is at Wilmington. They are building themselves a supply depot here in preparation to besiege Fort Fisher. So things are moving apace. So just an update there. I'll be back. Alright, it's time to bring everybody in for another update here, and you're not going to see it on the video, but it is taking me hours. We are at this point in the game where we're just playing whack-a-mole. We've controlled most of the southern cities at this point. Confederate Army's morale is very low. As I said in the last update, it's just whack-a-mole now. It's just trying to get them into combat and knock down the morale down to 20. Right now we have them down to 33. So we control Wilmington. We retook the fort at New Bern. I got the 4th and 2nd Corps resting up, hopefully for a final showdown with the Army in Northern Virginia, which is hiding out here at Moorhead Island. And I'll be moving 3rd Corps up to support them, because they have about 70,000 men in the area, if not more. We have taken Charleston. Or we're attempting to take Charleston. Right now I am trying to take down Fort Johnson. I'm thinking to take this down first before I can capture the city. 14th and Augusta, because we did lose control of that very shortly. Chased away the corps that was there and retaking control of it. 13th Corps Army of the Suwanee is on its way to Macon, Georgia. 5th Corps is now in Atlanta. 6th Corps is now on its way to Tallahassee. Should have thought of this sooner. I sent them down to Cedar Key, moving by ocean and river up to the ferry over here to move on Tallahassee. Just kind of have to worry about Rosser's Corps now, but he needs to shift around Corps to go handle him if he decides to retake Jacksonville. We haven't moved out of New Orleans because we do have an army sitting over here at this fortification. That's Ruggles Corps, part of the Army of Transmiss, and they are sitting at Fort Livingston. We did take down Fort St. Philippe, and Mississippi River Squadron is now trying to take down, what fort is this? Fort Jackson, but he's not doing so hot right now, so because it's a naval bombardment, it's not giving me the option to retreat out. I gotta wait for the Admiral to make the decision, which hopefully should be soon, because they did lose 2 ships so far. Didn't lose any ships taking down Fort St. Philippe, which is the bigger target. All my ships were at 100%. Set them at Fort Jackson with 100% rating, because they were all up in the green, and they lose 2 ships off the bat to ammo explosions. So I guess I was doing too well with this fleet, and the computer decided to punish me. 10th Corps is in Tuscaloosa, recovering its readiness. As soon as they're ready to go again, they'll be moving into Montgomery. And yeah, we basically seized everything. There is very little for us to take now. It's just a matter of beating down their armies to get to that 20 morale points. So, I'll be back. Alright, it's now December 1st, so I figure I'd bring you all in for another update here, and this game of whack-a-mole is just getting old. We've gotten the rebels down to 25 national morale, and I'm having a problem dropping it below that. It's been victory after victory after victory. We've completely chased the rebel armies out of the eastern seaboard, except for some command staff sections. But, yeah, so I am slowly shifting my operations further south to finish taking control of the upper Gulf. And then we're going to start shifting our focus west of the Mississippi. Though we honestly probably should have won this already at this point. So we've disintegrated the Army of Northern Virginia twice. And they're now operating down here. So it's just a whack-a-mole, whack-a-mole, whack-a-mole. We do have these forces up here. I'm waiting for their readiness to come back up a little more before I engage them again. Because I'm trying to get at least a major victory out of one of these battles. In the hopes that it'll drive their morale low enough to end this. So it's just a waiting game right now. And this is the worst part about this game, is the end game. Just trying to drive that morale down low enough to win it. So I'll be back. Alright, it's now January 1st, and I still have not gotten the Confederate morale below 25. It actually raised up at one point, and I couldn't figure out why. Then my dumb ass realized, oh, my prison camp's overflowing, which does help enemy morale, so I did empty out my prison camps to drop their morale back down, but I have just not been able to get it below that 25 mark, and it's really getting annoying, and I got all these small separate corps now running around the East Coast. They're basically confined over here to Port Royal at the moment. So that's like the one fortification they have left on the East Coast outside of Fort Sumter that I don't control, and Moultrie, which I'm taking down right now. I'm going to give the game until March 1st, so another 2 months in game. If I have not dropped their morale another point below 25, I'm calling the campaign over. We've won the war. The war is over. Their armies come out and fight, they stand, they take a few casualties, and they run away. I haven't even had anything that I can actually show you guys that's worth showing. So, like I said, I'll give it 2 more months. If we don't have it by then, I'll be calling the campaign over. So, I'll see you at the next update. Alright, it's now March 3rd. So, I'm actually going to call this campaign here. I've taken a few more cities down, a couple more fortifications, and yet the national morale of the Confederacy keeps rising now. It's now up to 30. Originally, I thought it was the prison camps that didn't solve the issue a little bit. Brought them back down to 25, and now it's back up to 30 again. So, and as I said, the armies just aren't fighting. So there's no point that I see in continuing this campaign. So I'll be honest, I sat down and started recording this episode on a Friday. It is now Sunday. So this has gone on way, way, way too long. So we've gone 6 months where their morale was at 25, and we just have not been able to drop it down below that. And as I said, it's going back up again. So we will end this campaign here. I hope you all did enjoy it. I know the ending's a bit anticlimactic, but this has just gone to the point of ridiculousness, and I can't make myself go on with this anymore. It really should have been, this campaign should have been over months ago, but it is what it is. Sometimes you get that with this game. But please let me know what you thought about the campaign in the comments below. I am going to be taking a break for a few weeks until the Whiskey and Lemons DLC comes out, so there won't be any content for probably about 3 weeks going forward. So just give myself a break from the game and prep up for the upcoming DLC, which none of you have seen that video yet. I did link it in my last one. I'll link it again in this one. opening campaign. They didn't show any battles yet, but shows campaign setup, how you build your career, stuff like that. So it's a pretty interesting video. It's on the Grand Tactician channel, so I highly suggest you check that out. Speaking of which, both Worms and J76 have started new campaigns on... I wouldn't say new campaigns. They are doing historical battles on this game. If you're interested in seeing the historical battles, both Worms and Warrior and J76NY are doing those right now. I think... yeah, J76 did his first one yesterday. So, if you enjoy this series and you haven't checked them out yet, please go check them out. But I think I share, most of my viewers are shared with those two channels anyway. So, once again, if you're a new viewer, returning viewer, you're not yet subscribed, please think about hitting that subscribe button. If you do, remember that bell icon so that the next video comes out. And as always, please do keep on commenting. It does help. I love interacting with everybody. And I'll see you all at the next episode. Stay grumpy.